Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the June 20th meeting of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. I'm Club President Becky Greenwald, and today for my little factoid, you also know that today is the first day of summer. Yay, it's cause for celebration. And I'm not a meteorologist, but I do have Google, and I found a few factoids about today being the first day of summer. And that it doesn't always occur on the 20th. Every year I go, I can't remember, is it on the 20th or the 21st? Well, it changes every year. It might be the 20th or the 21st or the 22nd. And you know why that is? Because of that 365.25 days of the year that we have. And it alternates. So we rotate in this part of the world between the 20th and the 22nd. So today it is actually the astronomical year of summer solstice, and it occurs here at 3:51 p.m. Central Daylight Time. And this is a new thing that I had no idea about. This is the exact moment that the Earth is most tilted towards the sun, so I kind of got that. It's the highest peak for the sun up north, and it pauses for a bit, and then it starts moving south. But that it's exactly the same time all around the world in the northern hemisphere. So our Rotarians in countries in Europe are having their summer solstice in the middle of the night while we're having it in the middle of our afternoon. So it's all going to happen at 3:51 today. So officially summer is here. I would like to invite Randy to come up and give us a moment of inspiration and lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance and our five-way test. Randy.
Thank you, short timer. Well, our guest speaker today, Julia, was a guest of Christina. She was here 3 weeks ago. She survived. And Julia, you heard us recite the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? But maybe you thought, okay, that sounds really nice, but what does that govern? Well, it governs what we think, say, and do as Rotarians. And if you think about that, there's a natural progression in that. To think is to have an idea, to have an opinion, a reason, a realization, something that'll get harder when you get of a certain age to remember. And then we say, which is an expression then of what we think, what we mean, or what our beliefs or opinions are, or it's a decision that we have come to. And then to do is to bring to pass what we say. Pretty plain. But think about those things, the importance of those things in reverse. And you can answer this thought maybe for yourself. What happens if we don't do what we say? If we don't act on a decision? Eventually, anyone we talk to may not care or listen to what we think. And now look, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the five-way test.
Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun?
Meet and greet.
Thank you.
Hi, Lucas.
Good job, Randy. Thanks for joining us, Lucas.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Nice to meet you. Hi. And you are Lucas.
From Brazil.
Oh, from Brazil. Hi. Okay, good. You're from A few years ago, we had a project with CDC and he got thrown out. Nice to have you here.
Okay, everybody. Now this is our favorite time of the meeting. We have some guests that we can introduce. I'll ask each of our guests to please stand as I call your names, and then we'll give you a round of applause when everyone's standing. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Jim and Diane Patton. And Jim is a past district governor from the northern part of Iowa, and he's with the Ames Rotary. We're gonna hear a little bit from him a little bit later with some exciting information, as he is the District 6000 Global Scholarship Chair, and he also served as the advising district governor for Corning, Creston, and Lennox. So thank you. Oh, stay standing. You can't sit down yet. Not yet. Okay. And we've got Susie Willems with us today. Hi again, Susie. She's an attorney with Hartung Schroeder and a guest of Ann McFarland. Welcome back. And also, we have two guests from out of the country. Deborah is with Uganda, and she's an exchange student at Des Moines University studying medicine. And Lucas from Brazil, the same thing, both exchange students at Des Moines University, and they looked up and found our Rotary Club and decided to come visit us today. So welcome to Deborah and Lucas, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so now, remember my favorite other part is tumbler time. If you don't have a dollar sign on your badge, you might think about putting $5 into the cup. Those funds all go to our Rotary Club of Des Moines Foundation that funds the wonderful projects that we're able to do each year in our community and in other places. So we always appreciate the support of our club members, and thank you very much. That's what makes our club tick. And now I would like to ask Jim Patton from District 6000 Scholarship Committee to come forward and share some exciting news with us.
Well, I was sharing, first of all, I was here just a couple of years ago on a similar mission. I came with a friend that we had visiting from Tanzania, and your club had been involved with Ames in several projects in Tanzania, water projects that are still going well, serving over 50,000 Tanzanians in rural areas. And this is not just a river project. These are wells and springs and great water. The thing that you might be interested in, and this is sidelight because this wasn't what I came to talk about, is the villages that have water are really prospering. And so now other people from Tanzania are moving to those areas because they have water. And what you may remember is we used to use the motto, or still do use the motto, first you have water, then you have other things, schools, hospitals, and so on. So thank you for that. The other reason I'm here is to highlight some things that are happening that your club is involved with and will be more involved with. I also first want to recognize Mark Snell, one of your members, who has been on the District Rotary Scholarship Review Committee. And we had a couple candidates this year, both qualified, both from the Des Moines area, but we had an outstanding candidate. How do we get his picture up there? Okay, great. This young man has been selected to be the District Rotary Scholar for 24-25, studying in Oxford, England. I'm going to tell you a little bit about his credentials because this young man is unbelievable. He has been working in New York this past year because he graduated in 23 from Yale, I'm sorry, yeah. His parents have a business in West Des Moines. His mother's a hairdresser, his father's a cobbler. grew up in a very, very minimal income home. So he went through Yale and now has almost no debt. He was so good, he qualified for scholarships, he did work. In fact, I think he was probably there an extra year because of the work he was doing in laboratories and so on. As a sister will be going to the East Coast for this next year for a scholarship. And the other neat thing about this guy is he plays clarinet. So we're hoping to have him here in Des Moines sometime in July. We don't have the schedule yet. And we're gonna try to get him here to the club meeting, and if not to the meeting, we're gonna get him around to meet some of you. He was one of 8 Yale seniors who received scholarships to go to England. He was, you'll be featured in your district newsletter. Most of you get that at home, right? So you'll notice his picture again there. Oxford is in what they call the Thames Valley area. I just think this is amazing. And obviously we've all heard of Oxford, so we know it's popular, but they have 20+ graduate students coming to Oxford that the various clubs in the area are being sponsors for. So what I'm here thanking you for is your club has agreed to be the international sponsor, meaning sending the student there. Something that you don't normally hear about. I'm not here asking for money. The district will be awarding $45,000 for the scholarship. When I joined the committee a couple of years ago, we were scratching 30 and had been 30 for a long time. I just said to the board, I said, we've got to raise this. I said, this scholarship has got to mean something. And just like we know what school costs here in the United States are, it's the same in other places. 2 years ago was our last student from the district that we sponsored. It was a $35,000 scholarship, just covered tuition. Even now with 45, we're just covering tuition. So all of the other expenses of living there and eating and traveling and so on are going to be his to take care of. Very quickly, a couple of quick things about his background. He'll be studying his background. His bachelor's was in molecular cellular development biology. During his time at Yale, he worked as a research assistant in the Yale School of Medicine. He was recognized as a Dean's Research Fellow and a STARS, that's capital S-T-A-R-S, scholar, honored with a prestigious Edgar Bowl Prize, which is one of the top 5 students in sciences at Yale. I didn't even know people like that when I was 16. Anyway, with your support, and there's a quick call to Kevin, and where's he sitting? Yeah, there he is. With a quick call to Kevin, he got you guys on board, so we appreciate. We'll be in touch with Kitty to keep her informed of what's happening. Kevin gave me the names of Dave Buzik and Lynette and Christina, and then we have connections to a club in Oxford. It's the Whitney Oxford England Club, District 1090. And we have some contacts there, so just like if Youth Exchange or anything else, if we send a student, we're the representative sending, and wherever they go, whether it's a Youth Exchange or whatever, there's a Rotary Club on the other end as their host, and so that's what they are. And I realize I have to introduce my wife, Diane. As I look over, I'm in trouble now. But I haven't also given you his name. It's Joshua. I can remember that name. The next one I have, Ghanaian. And his parents have a business, T-I-J-I Salon in in Urbandale. So I don't know if any of you live out in that area or not. Anyway, we're really excited. We're excited to have him here in July. Hope to bring him to the club so you can meet him. And he's just as pleasant on the phone as he looks on the picture. So you've got a great representative, and thank you for being part of this.
Yeah, I'm thinking he graduated from Dowling as well.
He did.
So, Caitlin Clark and Joshua Nguyen. What a combo. Okay, Christina, would you please come up and introduce our guest speaker? Esteemed Rotary member.
Thank you, Becky. All right. Art has make loneliness a shared experience, and transform despair into hope. Brene Brown. If you have never seen one of Julia Franklin's exhibitions, you should. She uses her art to create shared experiences that draw you into her world. She transports you through time and place, making you feel, remember, and explore. As a leader, she naturally draws people to her, building communities. Julia Franklin is the new executive director of Mainframe Studios. Julia is an Iowa Artist Fellow, a nonprofit leader, and a professor with more than 2 decades of experience in art advocacy, nonprofit management, and program and funding development. She was born and raised in Wichita Falls, Texas, which I just drove through. She earned her master's degree in sculpture from TCU in Fort Worth, Texas. She worked at the Dallas Museum of Art and Community Engagement before she moved to Lamoni, Iowa, where she served as professor of art at Graceland University for 18 years. There she received awards in excellence in teaching and scholarship, and also founded Art Academy, a summer art camp for children in rural Iowa. Julia went on to manage Drake University's Anderson Gallery, which I believe she did through COVID, is that correct? And then she went on to serve as a funder of 90+ arts and culture organizations for Bravo of Greater Des Moines. Julia leads the Friends of Drake Arts Board and chairs the Commission Print Initiative for the Des Moines Arts Center's Print Club. She is also an Iowa Artist Fellow and has exhibited artwork in over 85 shows nationally. Please help me welcome my friend, Julia Franklin.
Thank you so much, Christina. I am honored to be here today to share a little bit about Mainframe Studios. As you heard, I'm Julia Franklin, the new executive director. I started December 1st, so I've been in this role for about 6.5 months now. I'm sure Mainframe is a familiar sight to many of you. You can look out the north window and see our colorful building. And I'm really grateful for this invitation to share more about Mainframe, its evolution, and how it embodies creativity and community. Mainframe Studios is more than just a physical space. It is a creative hub and a beacon of artistic empowerment. It is a place that values risk, experimentation, and failure in order to express what it means to be human. Initially, Mainframe was founded to provide affordable, permanent workspaces for artists. In early 2023, as the final floor was being completed, the mission and vision expanded to advance equitable opportunities in the arts and to create a dynamic arts ecosystem here in Greater Des Moines. But why does this mission and vision matter to us in Des Moines? Oh, there we go. Affordable space is the key. Mainframe Studios is the largest nonprofit studio space in the nation for a reason. Rent is priced to cover operating expenses, ensuring that artists can focus on their craft without financial burden or fear of being forced out. Rent and utilities are kept at $1 to $1.50 per square foot per month. So if you have a 200 square foot studio, you're paying $200 a month. And we're working on keeping that as affordable as possible. This commitment to affordability is vital for artists to sustain their making. All right. Equity is behind all that we do, from maintaining safe and accessible workspaces, to selecting artists for studio spaces, to working even with vendors and contractors in the area, to even the events and programming that we offer. It's our responsibility to promote diversity and inclusivity and to live it every day. As you know, artists come from a variety of races, classes, backgrounds, different artistic disciplines and lived experiences, and they all converge here at Mainframe. We're all about fostering a rich tapestry of creativity, and equity is not just a buzzword. It's woven into our DNA, and it informs the decisions that we make. Thanks to Christina's intro, you already know a little bit about me. In my 25 years of being in the arts and culture sector, I've built and expanded visual and performing arts facilities, taught thousands of emerging artists, and advocated for creatives, all while being a professional artist myself. In fact, I had my own studio at Mainframe since 2018, and it's exciting to be on the other side of operations and know that Mainframe is truly and uniquely artist-led. What's remarkable about Mainframe is that it has defied the odds to succeed. And in less than 10 short years, Mainframe has established itself as a major cultural destination in the same orbit as the Science Center, Living History Farms, the Des Moines Arts Center, and the Botanical Gardens. I want to share a little bit of history so you can see where Mainframe began and how it is evolving to meet the community's needs. Mainframe was an innovative idea in 2009 when an advisory committee met to conduct a feasibility study. Once the need and potential funding was identified, the hunt for the right space was on. During this time frame, 3 artist spaces in downtown Des Moines were sold and turned into condos. The need was critical because artists are perpetually forced out of spaces. In 2015, a nonprofit was formed and Mainframe purchased the former Quest CenturyLink building, and renovations began on this 1978 structure. Notably, this building was designed by Iowa architect Chick Herbert, who also designed ISU's College of Design and the Des Moines Civic Center. The vision was impressive, and the community contributed $15 million to complete renovations, adding 168 windows in the process to create some of the most state-of-the-art facilities for artists to work in daily. In 2017, the building opened to the public. You could enter and tour the basement, the main floor, and the 4th floor. The pandemic, however, was actually a period of expansion and growth. In 2021, the 3rd level was expanded and completed, and this outside mural was painted by local artist Molly Spain. At the time, Catch Des Moines found out that it was the largest mural in the country since it spans 5 stories and at the perimeter of a 160,000 square foot building. We're now the 4th. In 2023, the 2nd floor was completed, and even this week, we are putting the finishing touches on the image on the right. It is a new public sculpture on our rooftop entitled Inhale, Exhale by local artist Jordan Weber, who is now in the New York Times almost every week for his work across the country. What's exciting is that you are going to see in the evening that the words inhale and exhale will light up and fade down with each breath. Jordan's intention was to remind us that we cannot control much in this world, but we can control ourselves and our breath. And that instead of reacting with rage or other emotions, we can breathe and take a moment to respond differently. What's exciting about this piece is that it's going to radically change the skyline of North Des Moines, downtown Des Moines. It's going to spark conversations, and it actually models what we believe in, that the arts have the power to transform spaces and unite us. Excited to have you all experience that in the evening. I have a feeling some of you like numbers in this room, so I did put together a little slide showing Mainframe by the numbers. We are a very small and mighty staff, 2.5 people lead this work. We've got 5 floors, 181 studios with over 220 people sharing those spaces each day. We actually have a wait list of 60 applications, and we're receiving more each day. In fact, Monday and Tuesday this week, we received 6 applications to have space at Mainframe. Now that the building is completely finished, we operate at 98% occupancy. People are always moving in and out, and we live our vision every day. And our annual operating budget is now $1.4 million. With 181 studios, Mainframe Studios is now home to over 220 people who are artists, entrepreneurs, makers, designers, producers, nonprofits, and more. What's most important is that each studio is a small business, and they are all eager to survive and thrive. From painters to sculptors to toy designers and ceramicists, musicians to writers, the studios buzz with artistic energy. These studios aren't just workspaces, they are incubators. They are spaces for dreams and where risk and innovation occur daily. Space is critical for ideas to flourish, for people to experiment, for visions to take shape, and for creativity to thrive. And here's why a safe and accessible studio space matters. A studio provides an environment free from distractions, allowing artists to immerse themselves in their work. A physical separation from daily life encourages focus and inspiration. Most artists, myself included, were finally able to move out of our basements and from our kitchen tables to create. And when dishes and laundry are not staring back at you, you actually are very productive. Unlike a cramped basement or corner of a living room, a studio offers room to spread out, get messy, experiment with materials and ideas, and explore new techniques. It is a playground for artistic expression. And the beauty of it is you can leave things as is, shut that door, and then come back the next day to continue your work. You can't do that at home. I am reminded of Deshara Bohana, who had a studio right across the hall from me. She's still there. She is a stellar example of how a space transforms someone's career and changes the correct trajectory of their entire life. When clients come in and galleries come to visit or patrons visit, they see a committed artist who takes their craft seriously, and it's a powerful statement about your identity as an artist. Mainframe does offer resources that a basement lacks. Professional lighting is one, proper ventilation, storage, common areas, freight elevators, mailboxes, free Wi-Fi, and parking, and even more. And those amenities are such a standout because they enhance productivity and really enhance the quality of work artists are producing. Another standout feature at Mainframe and the 3 studio residencies that exist on site. Both Drake and ISU have donors that pay for studios for recent graduates. What's really brilliant about this exchange is that these young emerging artists are bringing new ideas and new techniques to share with other artists at Mainframe, while Mainframe artists are helping mentor them to help them solidify their careers. Notably, we do have the Alex Brown Foundation on site. It is an international artist residency and headquartered in Studio 455. It is the former studio of a very famous local artist, Alex Brown, who unexpectedly passed away in 2019. His estate pays 4 artists a year to travel and create in Des Moines for 3 months at a time. The residency includes this 2,200 square foot studio, housing, transportation, and a monthly stipend. It's a remarkable exchange because we get to interact as a community with artists from around the globe, and they get to experience our community and make work inspired by their time here. To help support artists and provide opportunities for growth, Mainframe also offers weekly professional development sessions to teach artists business skills. From pricing their work, to creating social media content, to critiquing each other's pieces, to budgeting and developing new revenue streams, even grant writing. All of these skills empower artists to manage their careers effectively. And again, that reminder that Mainframe isn't just a physical space. It is a vibrant community in and of itself. Artists thrive when surrounded by their peers who understand their struggles, they share advice, and they celebrate victories. Artists interact with each other, and they collaborate and share insights. This all leads to opportunities, whether it's joint exhibitions, collaborations, or mentorship. Mainframe has emerged as a creative hub that fosters networking and supports collective solutions. Why do things alone when you can do things better together? It's not just enough to have creative workspaces, and this is why our mission has evolved. The work happening in studios, a little heavy-handed on the clicker, sorry about that. The work happening in the studios needs to be shared with the public and with our community. So we've created programming to do just that. Mainframe hosts seminars, classes, field trips and tours, and First Friday events. These are not exclusive gatherings, and we really invite the community in. Whether you're an artist, an art enthusiast, someone who's curious, someone interested in learning more, or in need of inspiration, Mainframe welcomes you. How many of you have been to a First Friday event? Oh, excellent. Thank you for attending. For those of you that don't know about this First Friday celebration, it is a time each month, the first Friday of each month from 5 to 8, when Mainframe opens our doors, artists open their studios to let you explore, to reveal their new works, to reveal things in progress, and to share their process. It is a chance for you to connect with artists and for you to learn and for you to appreciate, as well as spend time with friends and family. If it's been a while, you no longer need to worry about parking. I solved that on my second month. We have worked with Principal, our very generous neighbor, who has added 400 parking spots for us to use, and we also provide a free shuttle that picks you up at the lot and drops you off at our front door. So no excuses, come visit. First Fridays really are magical. It's not just about observing, it's about participating. Visitors invited to explore 5 floors of artist studios. You can listen to live music and poetry readings, you can watch dances, and you can even make some art on your own. So it is a full multi-sensory experience. First Fridays are a celebration of creativity, and they are more than just that. It's a monthly reminder of why public engagement matters. When the public engages with artists, it's a two-way street. Visitors gain insight into artists and how they work, and artists get to draw inspiration from the new perspectives of folks they meet, and they get valuable feedback. Each First Friday invites conversation and curiosity, and it helps create new relationships and understanding. It's been said that every First Friday is the same, but it's different. There will always be new works to share, but to keep it fresh, each month has a different theme to draw in diverse crowds. Whether it's a focus on abstract art, photography, or a special cultural celebration, these events pique curiosity and bring fresh faces. And First Fridays unite Des Moines. Neighbors, families, friends, all get to explore together, forging connections and celebrating creativity. So next First Friday, which is Friday, July 5th, come and immerse yourself in the magic. Stroll through studios, listen to music, savor food and drinks, and buy art. There truly is something for everyone at Mainframe. You can also experience Mainframe in other ways than just First Fridays. You can take a class. You can go on a field trip with your child or your grandchild, and you can tour the building and make something while you're there. You can also support Mainframe in other ways. Mainframe has a big room that you can rent for a wedding, a gala, a fundraiser, a prom, a conference, whatever you can imagine. This is important because it is one of our most valued revenue streams, and it's a way for us to keep studios affordable to artists. So if you are in need to book an event, consider Mainframe. You can also purchase a special brew from Fire Trucker Brewery, and those proceeds come back to Mainframe. You can purchase a sticker or a t-shirt to show your support. You can also make a donation to sponsor an artist or to give in honor or memory of a friend or loved one. It's all to keep Mainframe Studios affordable and here for generations to come. And it's a way to support the creative economy. This is a reminder that Mainframe isn't just a building, it's an economic engine and cultural driver that fuels community growth. 181 small businesses under one roof is significant. Each business employs an artist who buys supplies to generate work to sell. Art makes money. It creates jobs. It connects us. It bridges gaps. It unifies communities. And it is something that sparks innovation and creativity. It strengthens the economy and it strengthens Des Moines. Oh. Add it again. By fostering appreciation and understanding of art, artists get to gain exposure, they make sales, and it drives their small business, and it develops future clients and tenants and patrons. Support local artists. It boosts our economy and generates income for them. But most importantly, the vibrant art scene makes Des Moines a really attractive place to live and work. A thriving cultural landscape attracts talent, it attracts businesses, and it attracts investment. Remember, art isn't just about aesthetics, it's a catalyst for community growth. Mainframe Studios embodies that spirit by nurturing artists and enriching Des Moines' cultural fabric. I challenge you to pay attention to the art in your life and to see how it connects back to Mainframe. You're gonna find Mainframe creatives are everywhere. From the murals in your neighborhoods, to the art that you see at local hotels or coffee shops, to the documentaries you watch, to the games you play, to the music or podcasts you listen to, or the books you read your children, those experiences have all happened because of Mainframe. In closing, I want to say thank you for contributing to our mission. And the artists of Mainframe Studios are equally there contributing to our shared humanity. When artists can afford their spaces, they thrive. They produce more, they experiment fearlessly, and uniquely contribute to our community. Without affordable spaces, we risk stifling the very essence of our culture. Remember that affordable studio space isn't a luxury, it's an investment in our future and who we want to be. Thank you for continuing to champion the arts and celebrating Mainframe today and ensuring that creativity thrives for generations to come. Thank you. We have just a few minutes for questions, so if anyone has one, yeah, Tej.
Thank you, Julia, for all of the wonderful stuff. I have a couple questions on Inhale Exhale.
Yes.
Could you speak any more to the inspiration that led to it? Any role that your community played in that installation, and any community conversations you're planning to have?
Sure. So Inhale Exhale was actually designed in 2020 during the time of the pandemic. And it was there to help pay artists and keep them working during a time when most of the gig jobs for them had dried up. Jordan Weber was still living in our community. He lives in Brooklyn, New York right now, making work there. Jordan and Molly Spain, who painted the outside mural, actually worked together, and the project was supposed to happen at the same time. But funding was an issue, and so we've worked together with the Polk County Board of Supervisors, Operation Downtown, Bravo Greater Des Moines, to help fund this work. And it's interesting, is it a sign or is it a sculpture? And we're gonna now be known as the Inhale Exhale building. Well, I'll tell you that, and that's gonna be an interesting marketing problem to solve or to celebrate. But Jordan was actually very touched by Terry Caldwell Johnson, and he has done a number of projects at Oak Ridge neighborhood. And the direction that this faces is actually kind of north and west, and it actually points directly to Oak Ridge neighborhood. And it is a way for him. He was growing up and working and living there, and wanted to offer youth and folks living in the area a different way to respond to the world. He was definitely part of a lot of activism in 2020, and realized that you don't have to respond with rage and violence and stereotypical things for people of color, that there is a way for everyone in this world to pause, to breathe, and to think about inhaling and exhaling and figuring out how to react to things that you can't control in a different way. And Jordan's work is all about the intersection of social justice and the environment. And I think this is a really interesting way that he's choosing to do that for our community at Mainframe and for those at Oak Ridge that he's directing it towards. Thank you. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you had a question.
You mentioned Oak Ridge, and I'd be curious if you could expand upon the Teen Tech Center project. It's super cool.
Yes, so I've been asked to explain about the Teen Tech Center. We are so fortunate to have the Oak Studio Teen Tech Center in our lower level. It is run by Derek Frank and Emmett Phillips, who are bringing in youth and young adults into the building every day to figure out how to use technology to build skills. In fact, we hired students to run our social media for the past few months. They've now gotten other jobs, and they have now transitioned on to bigger and better things. And that's the whole point of the Oak Studio Teen Tech Center. It's incredible. Best Buy gave them $300,000 to support staff and gave them lots and lots of cool toys to play with. So you're actually invited to come in and tour that facility and meet folks. But children are in their ages really 13 to 21, but anyone who's interested, they take and help show them how to use technology to make art or create vinyl signs, create 3D printed objects. They're showing them ways to think about how art can be a career pathway for them as they get older. Yes?
I have a two-part question. One deals with how this compares to other communities across the country or world. And the second part is to deal with issues of music or those creative arts as well. Are some of the studios musically oriented, or is it all visual art?
It is not all visual arts. So we do have 6 nonprofits in the building, 2 of which, Des Moines Music Coalition and Civic Music Association, are there. We also have Waveforms that Bob runs. It is a professional recording studio. We have other music. We have Central Iowa Blues Society moving in this month. So the Iowa Blues Hall of Fame will actually go up on the walls and be a permanent fixture at Mainframe. That's something that they haven't had a permanent home, and we can do that for them. So that was the question about how does music kind of interact with Mainframe and fit into that. It is about art, music, theater, performance art, any way that you can express yourselves. We have poets and writers also in the building, so it is multidisciplinary. But Mainframe there's a lot of artist studios. There's some in Kansas City, there's some in Omaha. In every major city there are artist studios, even in Creston, Iowa. In Corning, Iowa, there are artist studios or small residencies that are there. It is something that is pervasive, but we are a nonprofit, and that's what's different. That we want to keep that building and keep it there for generations. Most artist studios aren't necessarily in the best studio space. It's a little grungy, a little grimy, elevators don't work. Things that aren't maybe accessible, and so we stand out in that way, that ours is almost a gallery or museum quality in what we have put together and what the founder and former director have done. Does that answer your question? Yeah, they're everywhere. I'm sure you've traveled. I went to Asheville a couple weeks ago, and they have a huge arts district, but everyone is an independent business and not under a nonprofit roof. So that's what helps keep it affordable, is that we're a nonprofit.
Just to follow up briefly on the music side, are some of the folks actually using it for teaching purposes for their studios, if they're any students to learn how to play instruments or something?
We don't have a lot of music studio teaching spaces. It is on our vision, like the things that we didn't quite get done, getting the building all renovated. We do have a desire from some donors to see those rehearsal rooms taking place. We know Music University, kind of the big program from Des Moines Music Coalition, identified the lack of rehearsal space and place for people to learn how to play music. And we can see a second or third phase for Mainframe where we will build those out. But that requires very particular building in terms of walls, even the floor, to keep things soundproof and keep everybody happy and working together. Great question. Anything else? Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, I can say that First Fridays are a lot of fun, so I plan to be there. Thank you so much, Julia. This wonderful thing that's going on in our community. And as a token of our appreciation, we're donating a book in your honor to the Des Moines Public Library, and it will be traveling around the streets of Des Moines in the Rotary Rosie Reader Van, which we also donated money to make possible. Okay. Kevin, excuse me. Must have been that piece of meat.
They have one artist who also works at the Public Library of Des Moines. One of their artists.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Gucci does
He's
work
good.
at the library and at Mayfair.
Cool. Very good to know. Okay, so upcoming meetings, and remember, you're always invited to bring your guests. Just be sure to RSVP with Kitty by 9 a.m. the Wednesday before the meeting. And think about someone who would come to Rotary that might be interested in a particular speaker or make a great addition to our club. So next week is a big week. We have got the Police and Fire Awards and passing of the gavel. So we're going to start our actual meeting at 12 noon. So just kind of words to the wise, get here a little early and be ready because we're going to bring the meeting in at 12 noon on the 27th. And then, of course, we will not be meeting on July 4th. Enjoy a happy Independence Day. And we'll have a scheduled speaker for you to announce soon for the July 11th meeting. And then we've got something else fun yet this month. And thanks so much to Ann Smearda and the Blank Park Zoo. They've invited us to the Zoo Brew, which is their activity that goes on in the summers. And we're going to be there this next Wednesday, June 26th. And Ann's tips to the wise are that the doors open at 6, but you encourage us to show up at 6:30 to avoid the crowds, right? So there's a big rush to get in. That'll be just wonderful, and it's rain or shine, and the event goes till 9:30. Tickets are $10 and can be purchased on site. Let them know that you're with the Rotary Club of Des Moines, and then just a reminder that in this event, Zoo Brew is for adults only. And then we'll be meeting as a group at the Safari Grill Deck. And there's going to be live music there from Unfortunate Sons. And they are, Kitty, check them out for us. They're rock and roll hits and hidden gems, primarily with 70s and 80s music. So it's going to be a great time. And I look forward to having my first Zoo Brew experience. I'm thinking it's going to be lots of fun. So come join us next Wednesday night for that fun. And the night before I pass the gavel to President Kevin. So I want to thank you for being with us today and for being a vital part of the Rotary Club of Des Moines. You are what makes us the success that we are. I thank you for that. And let's get out there, and until we meet again, let's have some fun and do good in the name of Rotary. We are adjourned.